Hi, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Pathways to Thriving. Today, I have Tyrone Havnar from the Tyrone Havnar Foundation. And Tyrone is a very special guest, busy, and I'm very grateful that he has taken the time to be with us. I met Tyrone on LinkedIn, where he asked me to do a talk for a blind cohort on his Lead Without Limits program. um, Tyrone is at the moment in Kerala, not where he lives, but he will share more about that as we go, as we progress in our interview. So, Tyrone, thank you so much for joining us. And I think I'll start with my first question, which is, who is Tyrone Havnar? Who is Tyrone?
That's a very powerful question that you have to ask, and I wonder where to start from. But yeah, let's go back to my childhood from
Yeah.
where we began and
Mhm.
how we end up where we are today.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And by the way, Anita, thank you so much for joining us for Lead Without Limits. It has been an amazing journey and very successful. And we have already jumped into the 12-month segment crucible for the training and amazing programs and reviews that they're giving us. So
We will
I'm
come
quite
back to that in a
excited.
minute. Yeah,
Yeah,
we will come
I'm
back to
quite
that. Yeah.
excited. I can't wait to tell you that's the problem. So, all right. So basically, my journey started back in Zimbabwe. That is from my childhood,
Mhm.
and I reached out my hand African, and that was in 2009. So how did this come to be? It's from my personal experience.
Mhm.
So I grew up in a family that was very, very detached, very, very abusive, should I put it that
Oh,
way? And
okay.
yes, and you know. The hardest part, most people, when they talk about their own experiences in the family, it's usually the father. It's the father who did this, the father who
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah.
And on my side, I don't know whether I'm going to say it's unfortunate or fortunate. Why? Because, well, it built the person that I am today. But however, this was from the mother side, you see.
Mm.
Instead, it was from my mother's side, and she wasn't really okay with me from the beginning. She always
Can
said
you
so. Yeah.
can you tell us what you mean by she wasn't really okay with you?
Well, f fair enough. I don't understand her because at some points when she'd argue, she would tell me that she wasn't ready to have me as a child,
Uh,
and she doesn't even understand why she kept me. That's the first
uh,
thing. Yeah,
uh,
she kept on saying it over and over. And I can say the hardest part of it all is being told that I would have killed you the day I gave birth to you on the
oh my
hospital
goodness.
floor. So yeah, this would come up through arguments when my mother is arguing with you or shouting at you. She'd say, "Oh, I gave birth to you on the hospital corridor, and I wanted them to trample upon you." So, I had to shut in the pain over and over, being told this, and my brothers and sisters, they, well, of course, got good treatment. I still don't understand why she was like that because we don't have a relationship anymore. Anyway. So as I am today, I didn't have that education that people
Mhm.
talk about, and
Mhm.
they have the diplomas, the degrees,
Mhm.
or they have level 4 or high school. I don't have those.
Mhm.
I always tell people that no, I don't have the education that because I am a development advocate and
Yeah.
I'm an advocate for education. So I educate people, which I didn't get. So you can
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
how we would arrive at that.
Yeah.
So from that experience, you see, I started seeing from a very young age that
Mhm.
okay, I was experiencing this, I'm experiencing this. What
Mhm.
about any other person who is also experiencing this, but they don't have the urge to seek help or to start something on their own?
Mhm.
So I think I was on the savior mode at that moment where I say
Mhm.
I need to help other people. I would say I
Mhm.
want to help other little Tyrones who actually need somebody to
Mhm.
stand by their side
Mhm.
because I understand being rejected or being
Mhm.
maltreated by your family and all that, where it
Mhm.
leads you trying to end your life over and over.
Oh, wow.
So I thought I would not want to see someone going through that.
Mm-hmm.
So then I reached out my hand to Africa. That was in 2009. And I was really focusing on the community around me, more specifically the elderly, even the young people.
Mm-hmm.
I, I didn't start the organization with a thematic area to say we are all about education or we are all about maybe environment, but I said we are all about everything as long as it makes life better for a human being or even for animals, then why not we do it?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
And
basically, yeah, the organization just started and it's just this one big umbrella, one big roof that up to today, it actually houses a whole lot of programs that
wow.
I run to date actually, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can say from that experience, I have been going up in different communities,
Mm.
looking for problems, looking for those problems. Let me see those problems of yours that you have.
So is
But
it fair to say that your beginnings this Africa Foundation you said?
I
Uh
reach out my hand, Africa. Yes,
I
yeah,
reach out my hand Africa.
yes.
You say would it be fair for me to say that you sort of started that foundation um because of the rejection that you had at home and you were creating a community of acceptance for yourself and others around you? Would that be correct?
I would say it's not just correct, but it's really, 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 really true. Yes, actually. It was also about me because the feeling of rejection, the feeling of not having anyone to really care for you.
Mm,
And you see, when already your mother despises of you,
mm,
even if you visit a family home, they are looking left, right, and center
mm.
and expecting that you're going to steal something from them.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, so that
Yeah.
feeling that I've had over and over
Mm,
has put me also on survival mode.
mm,
And I say to myself, I need to make myself a family of choice.
mm,
And it hasn't been really good for me also looking for family of choice because when you once start telling people really how you feel, they actually take advantage of you. Most people do this. And it has ended up in disaster for me. People want money from me, and because I see a person, they're elderly, I'm like, oh, my mom, oh, this is my dad, this is my
mm,
brother. And why do you call us that? I'm like, because I don't have a family and all the stuff. So
mm,
now, he's got an organization. Let's get something out from him. These things
mm,
have happened to me several
mm,
occasions.
mm, mm,
So yes, you're right. It was
mm,
also about me to create a family. And this one here, where I am now, it is
mm.
a family. That is why it's my
Okay.
second time back at the same place. I
Okay.
have a family here.
Where is this place?
Kerala, it's called Tiruvananthapuram or Trivandrum. So easy, right here in India.
Hmm.
It's amazing as we are talking. I'm sitting just along the lake, the Leane Lake. It's
So
beautiful.
what is this place that you're in?
Wow, nice. It's a space for leadership training,
Hmm.
basically. So leaders, like you see what we're doing with the foundation,
Hmm.
leaders are brought here who have ideas to
Hmm.
start their own organizations. Maybe they want to be advocates, and then they spend 7 months on campus,
Hmm.
and they're being hammered left, right, and center until up
Hammered.
until yeah, they're being
Sounds.
hammered placed in this famous washing machine, and you cry if you should, tumble dry you,
Oh
and
no.
up until up until you are the leader, you are the right leader to go out there and face the world because the world is not merciful. So whiny, crying, and sweet begging would not really help.
Mm,
So
mm,
yes, this is the place. It's Kantari. It's amazing, actually, need I say. Because why I say it's amazing, I have been doing my social change work for the
yeah.
past years with I Reach Out My Hand Africa. And 2021, I then applied to come to this leadership program and I was accepted.
Wow.
So I spent my 7 months here in India in 2021, and
Wow.
it was a roller coaster. I can assure you. Why? Because it just showed me that yes, I have been a leader for the past years,
Hmm.
but not to this extent. I wasn't ready. I mean, I was being broken by people. Then this place, it makes you so strong that
Oh, wow. Wow.
when you, yeah. So this place here is when I then started the foundation, the whole idea for the foundation. It was there, but it was a mentorship program that I
Yeah.
started in 2018.
Yeah.
Then coming here, I then started seeing, my mentors,
Yeah.
even the founder, the
Yeah.
co-founder of this place. She's blind, and I would watch her continuously using her braille machine, and she's reading your assignments, she's marking, she's giving you points, she's creating the schedule, she's doing
Yeah.
the calendars, everything on a little braille machine, and I'm
Wow.
wondering, she knows everyone's project. She
Yeah.
knows everything that's happening around,
Yeah.
and she cannot see us. So,
Wow.
that is the moment it clicked to me that there are blind people that I've seen before,
Yeah.
and you see them on the street, begging, and the majority,
Yeah.
and it's like their lives are over because they don't have maybe an opportunity.
Mm.
So, this is when I went back home
Mm.
just after the training. Then
Mm.
21, 22, I went on the road.
On the
And then,
road in India?
yo, hit the road. Yes. So,
In India.
no, no, no. I was now back in Zimbabwe.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So from Zimbabwe, I stayed at home a little bit. Then yeah, I run my own little organic farm, which
Yeah.
basically sponsors all that I do from,
Ah,
it's small,
yeah.
small. I don't have funding. I've never received that kind of funding to do the work.
Yeah.
But for all the work that I've done for the past 16 years plus, it's from my own pocket. So, and very trustable record, by the way, need I say. So, so when I got home with the idea of, Sabia and all the experience that I had in India, I thought to myself, what would actually happen if I can actually bring opportunities to other blind young people? Well, she's not young,
Ah.
but
Ah.
to young blind people,
Yeah.
those that are really not having the access.
Yeah.
Because the problem is not that people are lazy,
Yeah.
it's accessibility.
Correct.
Because we as sighted people may find it so hard to locate opportunities.
Yeah.
Now, can we
Yeah.
imagine a blind young man who's born in the rural community? His
Yeah.
parents are poor. They don't even have mobile devices,
Yeah.
right? But he has this idea that I want to be like this in my life. I want to start an organization.
Yeah.
But their opportunity is not presenting itself to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, so that is when I went on the road, and I started in South Africa. I went to Botswana, I went to Zambia, and in all these places I'm going to, I go to the rural side because
Right.
I want to see
Yeah.
what are the gaps that the young people are facing. Is it
Yeah.
in education or
Yeah.
to access leadership programs? And oh my goodness, it would be another day for such stories, sad and also
Yeah.
very, very inspiring, need I say. Very inspiring.
Wow.
And so 22, 23, and then 2024, I then returned again
Yeah.
back in Zambia. Yeah, I went to Zambia again for the second time because I didn't have enough of Zambia. It was amazing. So I said 2.0, let's go back. So I went back, and I was in Kalulushi in the Copperbelt province. There I was welcomed so well by the Catholic Church,
Hmm.
and they said, the program that you're doing is amazing. We haven't
Uh-huh.
had anyone coming to do this for us. It is
Wow.
a school for the deaf, actually.
Yeah.
So they gave me a cottage, and then they say, this is your cottage indefinitely. You can come anytime you want. You can stay here. You
Oh,
eat here
wow.
with us. And yeah. And then, oh, yeah, amazing. And then now I said, okay, this is my program. I need to
Yeah.
talk to your deaf students and
Yeah.
tell them about my project. And there was a plot twist here. I got to the school
Yeah.
and I started my little, yeah, 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 do this and that and all that. Then this guy, I'm talking, and then there's someone doing sign language. They're like, but he's not doing sign language so well. Can we teach him sign language? And then
Wow.
everything changed. And
Yeah.
now I became the participant. Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
now clearly, I'm now the one who's seated in in the classroom, and they are the ones in front teaching me.
Yeah.
But I was now doing this through mathematics, through geography, through science and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, I can say, I can call it a plot twist, but an amazing experience for me,
Yeah.
need I
Yeah.
say. Very ex
Yeah.
amazing. So now, whilst we were having the sessions, that's when we started designing a new program altogether. So we are doing leadership using artificial intelligence. How can it become accessible? I ask them questions. How can we make it better? And then they are the ones who help me design Lead Without Limits. I didn't design it.
Oh,
They
wow.
did.
So what you are telling me is that Lead Without Limits was really created by the people who
Yes.
ultimately benefit from it.
Yes. They are the ones who created it. And because I thought it's rather better
Mhm.
for us to have the beneficiaries do the design instead,
Yes,
not
yes,
us, because the big problem is that there is a top-down approach when it
yes,
comes to leadership programs or
yes.
even education, mainstream education. There is a big problem because we sit in the office, Anita, and then I say, I think blind people need this. I
Yes,
think these rural people need this. I feel yeah, you see, it's and then I then form this little board of directors and
mm,
trustees, and then we
mm,
agree on what we feel should be done, and then we feed it to the community, and then hey, there you go, swallow it, eat it,
yeah.
you know.
But it
So,
sounds a lot though, like so some of the organizations that I've worked with where we do training
mm,
work or where we want to develop a coaching program, we do
mhm,
what we call a needs analysis. And
yes,
a needs analysis helps us understand what the client wants.
yes,
And what I have found is that when the client gives you a lot of
yes,
information
uh-huh,
and is really open and is really how do you say um
mm-hmm.
free with the information that is like coming forward. Is that yeah? Um, you have a better chance of creating a program that meets their needs. And I have always found this to be the most effective program in the end, like where it's highly
Yeah,
customized. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Wow. Yes. Now you reminded me of because recently we were collecting reviews from the cohort for the
yeah,
blind youth, and Helia Angula, the one from Namibia,
yeah,
she actually mentioned this. She said,
right.
for the first time, she has attended a lot of programs, but for the first time,
Yeah.
there's a program that is made for the blind, and it is
Oh,
inclusive for the blind, and also it is all about. Because we started, you remember, we started with you. What about you? First and
mm,
foremost. So she says all the programs that they've
yeah,
attended, it's all
yeah,
about how can you treat the client? How can you treat the
yeah, yeah,
beneficiary? So
yeah,
she's saying, thank you so much because now we can know how can I treat myself first before I go out there.
yeah, yeah,
So I can say it is not been, but it is actually a very successful program.
yeah.
And it scares me out of my wits. Need I say?
Why does it
Yeah,
scare you?
because it does, because we had this is now 12 months program that we're
Mhm,
running now at Tyrone
mhm,
Havnar Foundation. And I mean, we are going in depth to each and every of their projects,
mhm,
and we are building them up together
mhm.
and making partnerships with companies and
Yeah,
organizations in their countries, yes,
yeah,
so they can actually have an experience as
yeah.
they are building their own social change ventures and all that.
Mm, mm.
So yes, so just going back a little bit. So when I went back for the second time to Zambia, that's when we started designing the program, and then the foundation, for some reason, just shaped itself because it was in my mind. I
Yeah,
remember writing a blog, which I just
yeah.
read recently in 2016, and I was surprised because I wrote the blog on the exact day that I then registered the foundation in 2024. Yeah, it's right there. I was like, what?
Oh,
Because that was on the 24th of October in 2016. when I said,
Wow.
sometime in the future, I would want to start a foundation, but in my name, that would help young people know that. And
Yeah.
then on the 24th of October, 2024, I got the registration.
Wow. That's
Yeah, so
amazing.
so I was so in love with my experience in Zambia and the people and how they welcomed me and helped create the program that I then registered the foundation in Zambia instead.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah,
Well done.
yeah,
Tarot, you talk
yeah.
about the cohort for the blind and also for the deaf.
Hmm.
So it's for both together. And
Hmm.
my question is, are there any other disabilities, dis, disabled communities that are benefiting from it or that you are planning to bring into it? What are the
Okay.
plans for the future? Yeah.
All right. So what's happening now is when we started our first cohort, it was leadership under pressure,
Mhm.
and it had 9 participants
Okay.
who are not deaf or who are not blind or disabled. They are very much see and hear here. So we brought them in, but for a very good reason,
Mhm.
because in 2026 to 2027, we are planning to have a fellowship. Okay, so it will be an on-campus fellowship.
Oh,
So
wow.
I started with this, yeah, with these young people from Zambia and Congo, and I say to them, whilst we are training, you should know that in the near future, you are going to be like an assistant to one of our participants who's either blind or deaf.
Right.
So, yes, so it's all in the planning. So we did that with the 9, and then we went straight to Lead Without Limits, which is the main program.
Mm,
So now, at the moment, Lead Without Limits is only catering for the deaf and the blind
mm, mm,
because, honestly speaking, more specifically, those
mm.
that are visually impaired are much more marginalized
Yeah.
because they really just cannot, I don't know. Yeah, so
It's fine
so
to
we
have a
are
niche.
going to
I'm
have
not, yeah. Yeah, I was just
yes,
interested to
yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For
Yeah.
now, and
Yeah.
as it is, this is our main focus, just the deaf
Yeah.
and the blind.
Yeah.
And yeah, they ask on several occasions, but how are you working with deaf and blind in the same place?
Yes.
It's a very
That was
famous
my next
question.
question.
I know, I can see it coming. So it's amazing because if you really visit our website, Tyrone Havnar Foundation, you will realize that there is this chatbot on the website. So most people would just scroll through because they
Yeah.
think it's a general chatbot,
Mm.
but it's not. That's actually our vision board. We call him vision board. You click on vision board, he will actually talk to you, tell you about the foundation, tell you about what we're doing.
Mm.
And when we are having assignments, they use Telegram. Again, I created the Lead Without Limits bot on Telegram, which converses with them, helping them out.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
hopefully, when we get this amazing seed funding, we are building a real bot that will actually facilitate a session between deaf and blind.
Fantastic.
So it's yeah, it's a very big plan. I'm not taking out all the blueprint out there, but I can assure you
Yeah.
that during a session, the deaf and the blind will be able to communicate with each other by using
Wonderful.
the
Mm.
bot. Yeah, it's got a very wonderful name, by the way. I named it Kasuba.
Kasuba.
Kasuba. So
What does that mean?
It's Zambian language actually. It means sunshine.
Oh,
So
wow. Lovely. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
see on our logo, there's
Mm.
the scarab beetle and it's
Yeah.
holding the sun disk, and
Yeah.
there are sun rays that are popping from that.
Yeah.
So as the scarab beetle works from morning to night, holding the sun disk, you see, bringing light. So Kasuba brings light.
Nice. Nice. Brilliant. Um,
Yeah.
you how do you get people involved in your Lead Without Limits program? I like the thing that you talked about where you brought in a first round of people who are not blind or deaf,
Hmm.
and you kind of made them alumni so that they
Hmm.
would give back. Would
Yes.
you be doing another round of that? How do you bring in other people to,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, we open our applications online, and there are five programs actually that happen. There's the
Uh-huh.
Trailblazer, there's the Lead Without Limits, there is Lead Under Pressure. There are different projects, and then there's a new one, AI in Leadership.
Mhm.
So we do the same rounds. Next year we do the same rounds, but a little different because we are doing the fellowship. You
Right.
understand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we will train them. They have to go online first and train, and then they go for 1 month on the road. They
Uh-huh.
come
Oh,
to Zambia. They're
oh,
on the road. They're crossing the borders, going to different places, enjoying and experiencing different organizations, different horizons, and all that. Because if you are going to listen to the reviews that they give,
mhm.
they also hope to leave their country and be somewhere else. And they feel
Wow.
that this is the right
Yeah,
place for them to live
yeah.
because some say this is their first time they even go through to a leadership program.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I opened up in a different way. I
Mm,
used the website first,
mm,
and then we place it on Facebook, we place it on Instagram, we place it on Telegram. We're just putting it everywhere. And
mm.
then amazingly, more of our applicants started talking to us over Telegram.
Nice.
And I asked them why. They say Telegram is more blind friendly.
Right.
So
Okay. Okay.
yeah. And again, I was really scared because when I put up the program, I started asking friends that I've met before, can you guys help me? I'm looking for blind leaders and all that. Then they're like, nah, we don't know any. The people that we know, some are saying they're scared. They're scared to even talk to a blind person because they don't know how they would react.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
fear also,
Yeah.
yeah, stigma, fear, and all this stuff. So I was now seated there at home and wondering, is this program really going to happen? Because I also applied for funding and I was rejected for funding from different donors. Was it Pollination? Many, many funders, they said, nah, nah, it's not a good program. So I was there and like, how am I actually going to do this?
Mm.
Then, luckily, I got a little bit of money. I got my $200 from the last week I did, and then I put all that to sponsoring the data, designing the program, and all that. I just put it all to that, basically like I always do. So I was now excited at that moment, but again, I didn't have participants. Then 3 weeks before the program started, I kept it going and I kept on announcing that we're about to start our program, but I didn't have the participants. And I was so hopeful. And all of a sudden, they started trickling in. And they're like, I saw this, I hope I'm not late. I saw this, I hope I'm not late, and all that. Then I was in shock. And then, I was so excited. I
Yeah.
went through the interviews, we call them, interview them, and then, understand what they really want to do, accept
Yeah.
them in the program, and
Yeah.
design the whole program with them, how it's going to be the curriculum.
Yeah.
And my God, and then the first day we went to start the program, I was like, are they going to be able to attend this? And they
Wow.
were there before me. So
Brilliant.
actually, actually, I'm led to tell you that the cohort for the blind was more receptive compared to other cohorts I've had.
Mm.
They're really responsive, very.
Wow.
Even till today,
Yeah.
they are in the group making me laugh, telling me
Oh,
stories, and
yeah. Actually, they
so
asked questions that really moved me.
yeah.
One of them asked me a question that was like, how to stop the stigma or the prejudice,
Mm, mm,
from the wider society against
mm.
them, and it was like, how do we make people see us as whole? And I just felt, oh, really, really moved because these are really young people and
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I do on every session we have.
yeah,
When we send them their assignment, at
yeah,
the last two questions, we always ask about how they actually envision the world. What do they suggest we should do better as the sighted people? What can we actually really do? And I'm yet to put everything together in a
mm,
report because I always write reports for the
mm,
program.
mm,
When you go through that,
mm,
that's when you realize top-down approach is nonsense.
mm, mm,
We assume that this works for them,
mm,
and it does not work. So
mm,
now we did the program because they designed this program.
mm, mm,
Yes, not the specific from the cohort, but the deaf and the blind. They're the ones who designed it that I met as I was traveling. They made
Yeah,
this program
yeah,
and it has worked out for them. They
yeah,
feel valued. They feel we
yeah.
ask them pressing questions. You spoke about your own experience, and still today they still mention this. But it was so nice. You have to watch the videos, by the way. They're online. I just put them yesterday.
Oh, have
You
you?
have
Oh,
to.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh no, I'll give you the link. I put them. Oh my gosh, when you listen, especially I like how Helia expressed herself. I
Mm,
mean,
mm,
she said you never know one day when you end up in Zambia or anywhere else, and
mm,
this is amazing that we've done this.
mm, mm,
So,
mm,
so yes, they have barriers, and
mm,
I feel we as the sighted people, we
mm,
continuously exacerbate these barriers over and over,
mm,
making it very hard for them to even be in a place.
mm,
Anita, you see, I think you and I are the same. We travel around a lot, and perhaps you have been in spaces where it's a conference, it's a meeting, and you would tell me, have you really seen maybe a person in a wheelchair, a deaf person, or a blind person in the session? I don't know. Do you get to see them
Wheelchairs,
often?
yes.
Yes,
Wheelchairs,
deaf.
yes. But maybe not blind, not deaf. Blind and
Mm-hmm.
deaf in Malaysia, sometimes we see them like in a Starbucks, or
Ah,
not blind, deaf in Starbucks, or sometimes even
yes,
the delivery guys, they are deaf, and
yes.
they come around. So there is a little bit, but people
Mm,
working in the Starbucks and doing delivery
mm,
are not really earning
mm.
that much anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's hard to imagine.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so if you are blind, you can't work in Starbucks because you
No,
can't deal with hot, you know,
I tell you.
how do you
Yeah.
make a hot latte, for example, or how do you, yeah. So I know what you're saying because it's hard, I think, when you
Yes.
do a lot of things just without thinking, right?
Yep.
So how do we incorporate this? And I think that's why your approach to have the conversations, like, what do you need? Because I may not be able to see what you need, right?
Yeah.
Tell me,
What is
yeah,
what is it?
yeah,
What is it? Yes, that is the thing because I have been and I keep noticing it's like what we now call the afterthought. It's like, so we've got 100 participants. Maybe let's just put two more who are deaf and blind.
yeah,
Just to
yeah,
tick that box that we are
yeah,
inclusive.
yeah.
But to say we go to a session and then I just find deaf and blind people in one place, never.
No,
But why is
no,
it so? Are you
no.
so afraid? I'm like, are you guys so afraid to
Mm,
have them in one place?
mm,
And like I told you, the fear. Actually, the mainstream community, should I put it, they have fear towards people who are blind, people who are deaf, people who are maybe albinism, or people who are from the gay community, whatever that is. There's this fear for what we don't understand.
mm,
So,
mm,
which is a very sad thing altogether,
mm,
because
mm,
when we have to treat another human being as
mm,
an afterthought because
mm,
they don't really relate to who we are,
mm,
then
mm,
it is us who need to change, and it is us who need to learn from them. I
yeah,
need to learn over and over.
yeah,
I need to go for Braille lessons because I am bad at that.
yeah,
I can't do Braille. Like, I don't know sign language. I know a little bit. So I was asking the other day to my fellows here. I'm like, if I put our co-founder who's blind in
yeah,
this room, it's in the evening, let's sit on the table and let's do our assignments. She's sitting there, she's blind, and
yeah.
you guys are sitting there, you are sighted. Let's all, write some notes and all that. Then I switch off the light.
Mm,
Who's disabled?
mm,
Who
mm.
is now disabled? Is she disabled or we are now disabled? Because she can continue, she will continue. She doesn't even
Yeah,
know when the light is
yeah,
on or off, but
yeah,
she's still typing, right? And
yeah,
in the dark.
yeah,
So now the light is over and you are using your pen. So now when you are going out there and you say, I'm meeting disabled people. What about you? What are you? You are the disabled one,
yeah,
literally.
yeah,
So I think we also use these words unknowingly and with so much
yeah,
passion and
yeah,
gratitude, disability, seclusion, and it's terrible. It's terrible. I'm
yeah,
telling you,
yeah.
Anita. Very bad.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
a topic that's very close to my heart is,
Mm.
um, this invisible disabilities as well.
Aha.
Yeah,
Aha.
but a lot of the things that you are talking about make sense to,
Yeah.
somebody who's
Yeah.
struggling with something that others can't see,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but hopefully, I mean, I think the work that people like you are doing are rare, but I think very important and very helpful for others around. Yeah. So
I
thank you for
feel
that.
so.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anita.
Yeah.
Well, what makes a difference is to talk about the work that you do and somebody actually shows interest in
Mm,
hearing what you do.
mm,
Um, Money, is it money? Does it compare? No.
mm,
It's just great to be heard, to be
mm,
able to actually say this. And I feel the resilience because at a point I would have quit because it gets very hard.
mm,
And I was still running a program for older people as well, the farm. And because the money was no longer enough, I actually had to remove those old people once again and take
mm,
them back to where I had taken them from. So it's like I removed them from the pain and then made them happy for a short time. I could not afford it anymore and I
yeah.
had to take them back
Yeah.
because, well, I don't know about donor funds coming through, but I do hope it does
Yeah.
because
Funding needs
I
funding.
do hope it does, yeah. But
Yeah.
I have been working on the farm day
Mm,
and night. I do work on the farm. I've developed that place from long back, and
mm,
it has been helpful
mm,
to the
mm.
local community. But for one person, it
Yeah.
can be much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still can
Yeah.
be much, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's useful still.
Yeah.
One, two people.
Mm,
I mean, I've done so many programs that sometimes I forget what is it that I did. I know I've brought aviation training to them. I know I've done agriculture with them.
yeah.
We've done sports together. We have done
Yeah.
experiential
Yeah.
learning. We've had exposure visits and all sponsored by me. And I mean, we've traveled to 7 countries and all sponsored by me. So
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I mean, it's an experience. So I would say again, my social change is not work, it's
Mm,
life.
mm,
So it's common that we say I'm going to work when I open my door and start on my computer. But I don't like to say that word
mm,
because I'm not working. I
mm,
say I'm going to live my life. Have a good day.
mm.
Because yeah, because I'm very passionate about what I do.
Yeah.
Every day I do what I do, and I don't
Yeah.
feel like I'm working,
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
just I'm just in life.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
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 Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, Tyrone, this is my last question, and it is
Mm-hmm.
a question that I ask all my guests.
Oh, yeah.
Um, the name of my podcast is Pathways to Thriving, and I ask everyone who comes on the program, what does thriving mean to you?
Thriving.
Yeah.
I feel it's functioning at the right percentage. For me, I'm
Mm,
thriving, I'm
mhm,
functional, and I'm happy,
mhm,
and I don't have much obstacles.
mm.
So that would be the general description of thriving. I feel it's like a deserted place, which is a desert. Then we go there, we make the soil,
Mm,
good, and then plants start coming out, and
mm.
then it's green. And I feel that what we can say that's thriving. That's a thriving
Yeah,
ecosystem.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
or if I relate it to a human being,
yeah,
thriving is not being in a space of want all the time,
yeah,
but being in a space where it's much more conducive.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's thriving for me. And I
yeah.
think pathways, progressive pathways to thriving or whatever that you are definitely on a great journey. Anita, you have no idea how important a podcast is in this day and age. It's
Oh,
important to even talk to a person, ask them questions, put it out there because someone will listen to this, someone will hear this, someone will be inspired.
mm,
Maybe someone will come and say, I need help, or
yeah.
someone will come and say, I need to give help.
I want to help.
So
Yeah.
this is already the description of thriving. We're
Mm,
thriving.
mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm. I love that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank
Mm,
you so much, Anita.
yeah. I've enjoyed this conversation very much. And I think a lot of things that you have said will make the people who are listening think. I think it will move people, and I'm inspired. So I'm quite sure that the others will be inspired too. So I want
Yes.
to thank you for sharing your story. Even the painful bits.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
and I just have to say it's inspirational to see how you started with rejection, but you have gone on to embrace
Yes,
and
yes.
welcome people in. So I think that's
Yeah.
amazing, Tyrone. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
you're
Anita. I don't
welcome.
know how to to really place this, but
Yeah.
I was afraid I would miss the interview.
Oh
But
no.
gladly, the people that I'm working with are very understanding. So I
Yeah.
told them that I have a very, very important engagement right now, and
Oh,
I need to excuse myself.
yeah.
And yeah, for now, what we're doing is we've got mentees that we're given, and they are now preparing for their speeches. I would also send you the link to attend. It's online whenever you're free. It's on the
Yeah.
12th and 13th of December.
Okay.
And you can get to watch these amazing young people who are going to be talking about their projects, what they are hoping to do in their communities. So the same work that I'm doing at the foundation is what I'm also doing here at Kantari, this
Oh,
time as a catalyst, as a mentor. So
okay.
yeah, so now we go and we listen to what they have to do and
Yeah.
prepare them for the speeches that they, yeah, for December. It's an exciting time, need I say,
Yeah.
for me, and I hope for them it is also, it's hard, but
I'm sure.
very, very exciting.
Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Tyrone. And
Okay.
thank
Yeah.
you to everyone who's watched. If this podcast episode has resonated with you, please like
Yes.
and subscribe because we want to get the word
Yeah.
out. So thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Anita, for having me. Yes, I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Yeah.